One thing that there's 100 ways to do this, but one thing that I like to do is I have all my stuff in a Trello board. Now, when is to do, in progress, done, whatever, when I move something from my in progress to my done column, I feel a hit of dopamine. Even if it's only a tiny thing, even the smallest thing gives you the same good feeling of a huge thing. Now, when I used to run a business, hey, it's Alan here, and I want to talk about this book, Business, let's put it the right way, Business Made Simple, by Donald Miller. Now, there's a really important concept in this book, and the concept is urgent versus important. Urgent versus important. Now, this has been dealt with in so many books. I've read 3 or 4 books myself that this has been dealt with in, but I'm sure there's hundreds. The important versus urgent concept. One of them was getting things done. The GTD method, getting things done. Most people know what that book is. I also read it in a book, 1 Week Way to Personal Success, many, many years ago. But I think a lot of business books and a lot of books deal with this concept, important versus urgent, because we all live really busy lives, with busy jobs, there's lots of stuff going on. There's always going to be urgent stuff. We've got urgent stuff that we need to get done. Always. There's an email in, there's whatever, this is urgent, blah, blah. Everything is always urgent. Everything is always urgent. And we got to think about, he gives the example in this book. Donald Miller gives the example of, he's writing a book. He wrote this book. He wrote Marketing Made Simple. He wrote Story Brands. He wrote loads of different books. And he always has emails looking for his time, stuff for him to do, whatever. Constantly. He also, I guess, has people come into the office, need to talk to him, whatever, meetings, blah, blah. But he knows deep down that for in order to him to move his business forward, the Business Made Simple business forward, he needs to be writing. He needs to be writing. If he stops writing, the momentum will keep the thing going for a while. But sooner or later, it's going to start dropping. Now, I don't know what your important versus urgent things are. So what your important tasks are. Maybe it's research. Maybe it's building the next product. Steve Jobs always felt that his important tasks, the urgent task was to keep the balance sheet in looking good and making sure current products were selling. But he felt his important tasks were research and innovating and creating the next thing. So he felt they were his important tasks. But obviously, and that's possibly why he got kicked out. Maybe kicked out of his own company. Some people say he wasn't kicked out. He kind of left, but he wasn't at his own company, probably because he wanted to focus on what was important rather than what was urgent. So important versus urgent. Now, I don't know what your important tasks are. Important tasks are, because there's obviously always urgent tasks. You need to get the bills paid, get money in, get the company keep going, or if you're working in a job, you've got all the current emails coming in, you got to find out what's going on, all that kind of stuff. Keep up to date, make sure you're keeping up to date on everything you're doing. But there's also important tasks. That thing that you can that report that you can sit down and write. He says when he's writing his book, he makes sure he writes 10 pages per day. That's his most important task, and he does it first thing in the morning. And he does all the urgent stuff later on. And he's suggesting that we do the important tasks first thing in the morning. Get them out of the way. Give yourself the hit of dopamine. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. That's what gets things done. If you can give yourself a hit of dopamine every single day, after every task, allow yourself to feel good. Even just notice the feeling of feeling good in your body. Now, how do you feel good? How do you feel good when you're doing boring work, if you want to call it boring work? One thing that there's 100 ways to do this, but one thing that I like to do is I have all my stuff in a Trello board. Now, when to do, in progress, done, whatever, when I move something from my in progress to my done column, I feel a hit of dopamine. Even if it's only a tiny thing, even the smallest thing gives you the same good feeling of a huge thing. Now, when I used to run a business, my whole thing was sales. When I made a sale, I was dancing around the room. And that gave me my hit of dopamine. And I don't know what your hit of dopamine is, but you can notice that in your job, there are some things where you complete that thing and you begin to notice a good feeling in your body. And that's where you need to get things done. That's the most important thing. And if you can apply that to the important tasks, a lot of time the important tasks are long-term tasks, research, building new products, improving systems, what are called standard operating procedures, SOPs, but I like to call them systems. I just think the word is a bit more interesting. And improving systems, improving processes, making sure people are working better, working with your people, doing these improvements. If you can get them onto your Trello board, your Asana board, or whatever you use, your Wrike, whatever you happen to use, and if you can get them moving into your done column, and as you move this task from your in progress to your done column, if you can allow yourself to notice a good feeling starting somewhere in your body and moving somewhere else. For me, it starts in my stomach and moves up towards my neck, and that gives me excitement to go and get the next thing done. And that's really, really, really important. Really important. Big successes come from tiny successes, the little tiny things that are done every day on a consistent basis. That's where huge successes come from. That's where breakthrough products come from. That's where overnight successes that take 10 years come from. Again, those little tiny tasks moved from in progress to done and feeling good. And the secret, I've just embellished a little bit on what he was saying, but he was saying the important versus urgent tasks. But I'm just adding on to that those important tasks, once you've worked out what they are, once you've worked out what those important tasks are, they're almost always long-term things. And the secret obviously is taking the huge task and breaking it down into bite-sized chunks, hopefully 30-minute chunks, things that can be completed within 30 minutes. And then you've got your Trello board and you've moved all of these things into done. You've moved 10 things a day into done and you feel incredible. You feel incredible now, because you've got these tasks done. And if you can do that every single day, that's where the huge successes come from. Now, I'm saying that I'm not perfect at this. This is a concept that I'm speaking out loud so I can understand it better. So I'm not perfect at this, but I do like to feel good. I do like to feel good, and I like to feel good every single day. And if you could allow yourself to feel good as you move that task across to the done column, then you've got those hits of dopamine every day you need to make sure you're getting the important tasks that you need to do to be getting them done. It's been Alan here. Just want to talk about the important tasks versus the urgent tasks.